Namaskar, a very good afternoon to all. I myself, Dr. Sujit Kumar Choudhary, Associate Professor of Department of Sociology, Mahatma Gandhi Central University, Bihar. As you are aware about the fact that due to widespread of COVID-19, all the educational institutions have been closed down till 14th of April 2020. And in this regard, our university, Mahatma Gandhi Central University, has been started a lecture series under the e-Wimmers for the students, UG, PG, and research scholars. In this series, the first lecture was delivered by our Honorable Vice Chancellor, and after that, also many teachers have been already delivered. Now, I am delivering an online lecture on the relevance of sociology in contemporary world. Why this discipline we need to study, that is our concern. First thing, that what is all about the sociology? Sociology basically a scientific study of the different institutions of society. And in this regard, whatever we study, we have to deliver and practice in the society. Without this, if we are not able to understand our society or social structure, whether it's India or which we may have the we may have some kind of like urban or rural sociology, rural society, then we have to understand the entire structure of these society, whether it's the society nature of society is metropolis, cities, towns, villages, or maybe it is situated in the remote villages. So, in that situation, for all the students, it is very essential to understand why we study sociology. So, whether you are a student of science, technology, or any other disciplines, we need to know about the social structure, social institutions, its practices, and its different aspects in the light of the contemporary situation. What are the different problems existing in the society? So here, I'm just have some questions why the institutions like IITs and IITs have the discipline of sociology. And this sociology, every student has to be studied under the UG level. It's a compulsory. So, looking the relevance of this discipline, I am just giving an out. I'm giving a blueprint, the wider disciplines of sociology. Sociology basically concerned with the all kinds of institutions, all aspects of institution. It has, if you are a student of science and technology, then even if you have done UG and PG in uh, technology, then you can study the research programs under the sociology, and your expertise may be the sociology of science and technology. For instance, if you are students of medicine, you are students of medical sciences, then you have the discipline of sociology of medicine. So, in that context, what I'm trying to tell you is that we have a very wider scope of this discipline. For instance, if you study law, suppose, so law, where will you practice? You have to practice finally in the society. And in this regard, we have the discipline of jurisprudence, in that you have to go to the village, go to see the real problems in the outside world, outside world means outside the court, then you will able to recognize what is the real picture that is that is happened in the particular case. So in this condition we have a very wider scope. We have the sociology of medicine, we have the sociology of science, we have the science sociology of technology, we have the sociology of sports, we have the sociology of uh, human behavior, that is called social psychology. We have the disciplines of social anthropology, we have the disciplines of political sociology. If you are a student of economics, then you can study the economic sociology. For instance, I'm just giving an example by looking into the contemporary situation. For instance, Angus Nalsa has written on why this present context of people are more affected by the social life rather than the economic life. So we have the sociology of economic life. In that situation, we have a kind nowadays the everybody those who are in the private or government services, they are going through to maintain the status. A status in the sense that is a kind of what I for me seems to be a very virtual world. For instance, that you are just locating your status by looking into the status of the people those are living in and around you. Even you don't have the don't have the money, but you have to be you have to be very sure that how to maintain the status, and you are not able to distinguish between what is needed and what is desired. For instance, if you do not need a car, then why you are going to purchase a car? And even car, why you are looking for the bigger brand if you do not need it? But the thing is that what Spencer is saying, that our social life, whatever, for instance, our income is very less, for instance, 50,000, but our status is in such a manner that we want to maintain it, even we do not need it. And if the in your neighborhood they have the cars, then you also need a car, and car good brand, a spacious car, and everything is run on the basis of EMI. So in that condition, what I'm trying to say is that why, if even you don't have your hard money, cash, but you are going through the loans and you are purchasing many things which you do not require it. So in that situation, before that, what I'm trying to say is that in the just take an example of 50 years, 60 years, or maybe 70 years back, our forefathers having a loss of money and also land, but even they don't have a kind of bicycle, and they are just going by feet, and uh, even they walk for 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers, even 30 kilometers on feet. But the condition is that now, and they have the loss of money to buy whatever they want, but they only buy the things which they require it. In that situation, what I'm trying to say is that ki, nowadays our life is full of desire, that even we do not require it, but they want to purchase it. If you don't have the money, but you go on AMI. So in that situation, what I'm trying to say is that why we need this kind of things that is necessary if we do not require it. So in that context, I'm trying to say is that our social life decides everything, our status, and accordingly we have to choose what we require it. By giving this example, what I'm trying to say is that we have a kind of social exposure, society that decides our needs, that decides our desire, that decides our requirements. So, in that situation, we have to look into the subject of sociology. Why is relevant in this contemporary world? As the many educated people are working in the different parts of the country and the world, and all the things that is decided on the basis of their social status, that is spread in and around. And some of the things which I think I have to share with you, that recently uh, a full family with in Delhi and different metropolitan cities that committed suicide because of this, the pressure of loan, even because of this. So here Smell's argument seems to me is very significant. So what I'm trying to say is that the relevance of sociology in this contemporary world needs to be studied, understood, defined. And in that condition, we need to study sociology very efficiently, carefully, and honestly to understand the social structure. Just take an example of our country. Our country, as you are aware about the fact that we have different groups of people which stays in the rural, urban, metropolitan cities, towns, and they have the different kinds of class status. For instance, if you are an engineer and you do not have the knowledge about your village where the people are very poor, they don't have basic infrastructure, and they even are not able to fulfill their basic needs. In that condition, as an engineer, what will you work if you have allocated this village for the purpose of development? It may be road construction, it may be electrification, it may be the sanitation or anything else. So in that situation, you need to know about our structure, the village structure, what kind of people they want and what kind of people they stay, whether it's poor or maybe they have don't have the uh, even they don't have the money to fulfill their basic needs. So without knowing this fact, if you are just working in this field or in the villages, you will not able to do the justice for these people. If suppose you are a law experts, legal advisors, and some cases that you have that is crossing, and you do not have the basic knowledge about the society, what kind of politics that is going under this case. For instance, just take an example. In the village condition, people maybe fighting each other, but They don't have the real intention, but those who are little bit more knowledgeable, or you can say they can take the benefit of these people. They can compel, they can just instigate to go for the fight, and after that they have their lawyers, and they will look into your case, and you will finally win the game. So in that situation, everybody has to know what is the basic situation, and why these problems are lies, why these problems are just going through it. Another what I think is that, for instance, the people of sports, students of sports, people of sports, they want to know what kind of sports which is necessary, and why we play a certain games. So here they have the intention of kind of attachment with the society, and this is sports, sociology of sports, has a basic importance that they will have to do justice, and in that situation that will make a kind of accommodation, integration, and attachment with the people on the basis of the sports. Another thing, for instance, take an example of political sociology. Political sociology, in fact, gives a kind of direction to the people to know the political institution, party system, structure of bureaucracy, and also the political socialization, which are basically needed in this contemporary world, as you see the behaving nature of these politicians in the uh, temple of politics, which is Sansad, and also in the assembly. Why these people, the kind of fighting among themselves is a kind of a serious concern. So, in that context, now in the contemporary world, we are looking about more about the sociology of development. And sociology of development is something which we have to deal with the developmental processes, not on the expense of their displacement. Development is essential, but in the development, the people, those who are in the countryside, those who are poor, we have to look their condition, we have to look into their welfare, that is, which we cannot ignore into it. So, in that circumstances, whether the people belong to any disciplines, we need to study sociology, because it deals with the all aspects of society, all institutions of the society, all structures of the society. Without knowing, or compromising our social, to knowing the social structure of our society, we are not able to do justice in any more. So, in this first lecture, I have given a broader outline of relevance of sociology in this contemporary world, and why we need to study sociology at all levels of disciplines, and we are not only that we are just getting the money, getting the jobs, that is not going to solve our problems, unless and until we go for the concrete solution. We are not able to make a kind of egalitarian society. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you.